Okay, Bird, if we can start up the live stream. It's running. Great. Okay. OK, bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue. Bienvenue de retour à l'espace 4, une installation de l'Université Concordia. Merci d'être ici avec nous pour l'événement, le troisième, quatrième événement de la journée, Atelier de narration, de récits, Qarjuit Youth Council et voies, jeunesses, QYC and Inuit Youth Voices and Storying Workshop. Nous aimerions commencer par reconnaître que l'Université Concordia est située en territoire autochtone, lequel n'a jamais été cédé entre Chog et Montréal. C'est dans le respect des liens avec le passé, le présent et l'avenir que nous reconnaissons les relations continues entre les peuples autochtones et d'autres personnes de la communauté montréalaise. La rencontre aujourd'hui, comme toujours aujourd'hui, est une conversation en direct par Zoom et YouTube et des commentaires, des questions, tout peut soumis par le clavardage. Pour les personnes qui sont dans la salle, si vous souhaitez participer, il suffit de lever la main et nous vous fournirons un micro. Okay. Sur ce, j'ai maintenant le plaisir de passer la parole encore au Coordinator of Indigenous Community Engagement, Geneviève Sioui. Geneviève.
On commence à être une bonne machine bien huilée, là. Vous autres aussi, vous commencez à comprendre comment ça se passe. Re-bienvenue pour nos deux dernières conversations de la journée. Donc, on va partir ça avec Magalie Quintal-Marineau, professeure à l'INRS, et Christine Lussier, qui travaille avec la CRJ, mais qui fait aussi son doctorat ici à l'Université Concordia. Puis que vous faites du travail très intéressant avec la gang du Qarjuit Youth Council. Donc, on a Veronica Fleming-Masty. I don't know who's who. Do you want to wave your hand? Veronica, Elia Lauzon. Ah, not here. Laura, Henault-Ratelle, Suzy-Anne Koudlouk, that we heard earlier, and Kayla Chalmers.
Actually, Luisa Ezekiel.
Ah, okay, Luisa. Welcome. All right, so I'll pass it to you. Then after this, we're going to have a bit of time for questions. Then we will reorganize the space for our last conversation before we go off to see some art and a film.
Thank you, Geneviève. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for traveling from Nunavik to Montreal to attend this event. And thank you, Natasha and the Cher Réseau Jeunesse, to invite this wonderful group so we can speak a bit about the project that we've started this year. It's a project entitled Unikaussivut. I practiced before. Our stories, our future. It's a project that celebrates Inuit youth leadership in Nunavik. It's about sharing stories of leadership, how youth are changing and helping and supporting Northern change in Nunavik. And so we're doing a lot of creative activities in this project. And so today we'll be talking a bit about what leadership means, but we wanted to just present you a little bit the project before we start this conversation. So this is the team with more members, because we include also other and new Qarjuit youth members when they come in their terms as part of the Youth Council. So there is Janice Parson, who's the president of Qarjuit, but she's on maternity leave now. But we've started the project together a couple years ago because we started this discussion in 2021. And you'll see pictures throughout the presentation, only 6 slides, so no worries. But just a few pictures of other activities that we've been doing around youth leadership. There's also Michelle Smith that maybe some of you know. She's also a collaborator with the Cher Réseau Jeunesse. and Natasha, of course, and Christine, who's doing her work and supporting this project every week. So what the project is doing, so we have like a few focus on the project, but mainly what we want is to celebrate Inuit youth leadership and creativity. And we're focusing on storytelling and podcasting. So what we'll be doing today, we'll be asking these folks some questions. It's going to be recorded and it's going to be part of one of our episodes throughout the project. So it's a 3-year project. We're doing a few podcast and filmmaking activities with youth. And today's discussion is going to be part of that. So yeah, next slide. So the goal of the project is to build also youth research skills through creative workshops that we're doing in Nunavik. So it's not only about documenting youth leadership in the North, but it's also about involving youth in conducting the research. So we've had a few workshops. Well, we already had 2 workshops on research skills, but it's also, we're going to have others just to involve the youth in the creation of the results too. So it's learning about best practice, how to involve youth in leadership roles in Nunavik. And just for a little stats, in Nunavik, like 70% of the population is under 35 years old. So just to give you an idea, like under 35, 70% of the population. That's a lot of youth. Okay, so yeah, what we'll be doing some, that was our first, our first activity at the annual assembly in Kanjiksujuak in September. So we did a first activity and podcast activity with the youth. So with 30 youth that are involved over 3 years. Youth are going to participate in workshops on storytelling, podcasting, and filmmaking throughout the project. Sharing stories about leadership and creativity. So panel discussion as our first, I'll pass it to you, Christine.
My turn. Thank you. I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone for the space, Natasha and everyone. I am just fangirling over everyone, especially the team of Qarjuit here. Our job is to have fun for the next few years and to just learn about what's happening in Nunavik, what's rocking and rolling, and there's a lot happening. And this is just to kind of give you a taste of what our podcast is going to sound like. We wanna hear about what kind of leadership initiatives are happening in Nunavik right now. Did we want to take a moment to say what are our names, what we do, and everything? Cool. Well, I've been introduced. I'm Christine.
Hello. Hi. I'm Veronica Fleming-Masty from Gujarat-Maksu. I just turned 22. I graduated at 16. I was in the student council in the beginning. Started off afterwards with the youth council back in my community. And then on the Inuit side, I started the recreation council. And then on the Cree side, I joined the recreational council too as chairman. Right afterwards, I got into the NV and mayor and council. With that job led into the housing council, and then the actual recreation council that involves all the youth on the Inuit side. With that, it started connecting towards the Cree side with the chairman position. And right after that as well, I got into the subcommittee with both WFN and the Gujarat. So it's a whole circle going on. Right afterwards, I got to meet Laura when she came to Gujarat for a little panel, a little get around to know people. And right after that, she rolled me into the Qarjuit. Honestly, it doesn't feel like a job. It feels more like getting to know everyone in the region. And it's all fun, honestly. You get to meet amazing people. You learn as you grow, and I have so many more years to go. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm excited to see what goes on further on, and it's great to meet everyone here. All right.
Wow, how do you follow that? I'm kidding. My name is Susie Ann Kadluk. I'm from Qarjuit Nunavik. I'm serving as the Vice President of Qarjuit Youth Council. It's been about a little over 5 years since I've been working with youth for youth. I sit on various organizations within the region and within my community as well. If I were to name them all, I think we would spend the whole hour. So I'm not going to go into details on that, but yeah, I'm really excited for the conversations that we're going to be having here. And might I just say, what an inspiring row of women right now. So like props to you guys. Yeah, so a little bit of what we do in Qarjuit is we represent youth between 15 to 35 years old from 14 communities plus Shisasibi, so like that's the whole region. We have about 4,500 youth within Nunavik that we represent, and governance structures, organizations, and we just try to make sure that the youth voice is considered while they're making those decisions that directly impact us. So yeah, Laura.
Good afternoon, Ulukut. My name is Laura Henault-Ratelle. I'm from Montreal originally. Was working as a lawyer for a few years. Wanted to impact youth in a more relational way. And I've been working, well, I was working in the Cree Nation for a few years, and now in Nunavik, I'm the general manager for Qarjuit Youth Council. I love my job. Like, I'm mind blown by my job. I cry every week from happiness over my job. Like literally all we do is like connect with these insane people and make great stuff happen that people thought was not possible. So it feels like a big rock and roll, powerful job. I love it so much. Yeah, Louisa?
Hello. My name is Luisa Ezekiel. I'm from Nunavik, Huaktak. I'm the board of director of Qarjuit since September 2023 or 2024. I'm kind of lost with my days. But what I learned from this organization is engaging with the youth, and I love that we meet a lot of different youth from different communities and get to know each other. That's what I love about this organization.
Amazing. I wanted to also invite people to, we're chilling here. I don't want it to be such like a formal thing. We're just at our grandparents' place, if you will. I don't want there to be any pressure, especially for me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What could we ask about leadership? For my part, I think maybe I would like to ask you, what are the qualities that you find in a leader? Or if you have someone in mind, I would like for you to share maybe about those. What makes someone a leader?
For me, I noticed that leadership started out really young. It would start off with teachers or older siblings, older cousins. And then it led into more grown adults trying to seek guidance towards what I should do in the future. Or honestly, one of the best qualities of a leader, in my opinion, would be for them to be totally understanding in the youth's opinion and their own decisions, and just to guide, just to hold their hand, like at a daycare or something, you know? And that's how I feel like a leader should be. just to hold their hand and make sure they're okay. If they fall, you get them back up, and it's the way to go. Honestly, that's how I felt when I was really shy in the beginning. Our first meeting, I just sat down, took notes, couldn't bother speaking up at all. But then once you started getting into the group, once you start actually getting out of your shell, it's great. People will guide you around. Your friends, you'll find them as your leaders. And that's how I feel what a leader is: a friend, a guidance, a person to hold your hand all the way through. Thank you.
What she said, I'm kidding. Well, the type of leader I had when I was young was mainly like my father and like my grandparents also, and like they would be really inclusive towards people, being welcoming, living in harmony with each other and with the land, being respectful of one another. And yeah, like kind of how they taught me was, because Inuit are hands-on learners, yes, and instead of just showing me how to do it and just kind of letting me follow, they would guide me through each step of, like, let's say butchering a seal or butchering a caribou, or my first pyramids I learned alongside like my mother and my grandmother. And like, yeah, what Veronica said, like holding their hand and walking them through it instead of just like leading. That way we could all collectively lead each other towards a common good. And that's one of the values that we as Inuit have, is like living in harmony, respecting one another, and trying to reach a common good as a collective. Like we like to discuss, have discussions and consensus-based decisions, and trying to make sure that everyone's perspective and voice is included in that decision making. So that's the kind of leader that I aspire to be, and hopefully one day I will get there. Or like, yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm there now, I don't know.
She very much is. Yeah, for me, I think, I mean, I relate very much with what you just said. I like to think of leaders as kind of pathway finders. Like sometimes there's things that a lot of people want to do, but there's power dynamics that seem to make it hard. And so how can you give more space for the voices that are less heard, so that together they can make happen what they've been wanting to make happen? Yeah, other like qualities of a leader beside like listening, I think like emotional maturity, emotional awareness, like showing by example. I think these are very important qualities, and yeah, being able to build relationships, and through building that trust, people are more and more open about what they want to create, and it makes everything possible for real, like we're living it. Yeah, initial thoughts on that. Would you like to share something? No? Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, let's.
Thank you for your answers. It made me kind of think about the different kinds of leadership that we encounter in our communities. I was wondering if any of you had any examples of the different kinds that we see, like let's say intergenerational leadership. How does that manifest? More quiet ways of leadership. How does leadership change whether you're in community or in the land, or if you're a student down here or something? What do you think?
For me, I've always stayed up in my region. I've only experienced down south when it comes to work or the hospitals as much as our population does. But as a quiet way of, in a leadership I feel that in a little quiet way, it's you can provide funding, you can provide guidance, you can provide a new job position in the community. You can provide so many things, even if it's housing, giving them a chance, or things such as summer school that provides doorways. One instance for myself, my brother, he plays in hockey. So there's tournaments that go on up north. And before I joined Qarjuit, they had sponsored a team in Wakem Bay. And they traveled all the way down to my community. They ended up winning the entire tournament with only 7 players, and there were scouters there. And out of that community that they gave funding to, one kid was scouted to an A+ hockey training school. And everything was paid for, trip, everything. And for me, for my brother, it costed minimum $6,000. And at the end of the training, that one youth ended up getting scouted towards a hockey school down in Ottawa. So if you think you're just helping funding just a simple project, you don't know how many doors that'll lead. And for that one kid, that always sticks into my head, just a simple okay. And that led down to a kid going to school for free all the way down to Ottawa for sports that he loves doing. And that's the one image that I think of a quiet leadership. Thank you.
Again, how do I follow that? No. Well, Inuit are natural storytellers, as you can see. So a little example of young men stepping into like leadership roles is a really big thing. Like we have a hard time recruiting some like young men into our events. So a couple of young men within my community came up to me and said they always wanted to learn how to hunt, but they don't have a father figure within their life. So I started this project paying young men to take out other younger men out seal hunting. And I saw these young men and these hunters step into this leadership role when they're out hunting, and they're guiding them through each step of butchering. And like seeing that really just inspired me that like, it's not that they don't want to lead, it's just like they need to be given an opportunity to step into that leadership role. And they did it in like a very nice, quiet way. But then there was other men that were like, like there. So it was like a mixture of two leadership styles, where one is like really loud and like really energetic, but the other one was like calm and like quietly leading them towards like finding a seal, butchering it. And like that's an example from my personal perspective of two different leadership styles that like some people can have. I'm more bubbly and like I joke around a lot and like that, but then like there are other within our team, there are others that are a little bit more quiet and like they lead that way also. A really good friend of mine that was a part of the council a couple years ago, you could hear her across the room. She would be like, hey, everybody, let's go, let's do this. And I would just be like in the background, be like, everybody, come on, let's go, let's go. So like the dynamic and leadership skills within our council is absolutely amazing. There's one for each youth, like what they're comfortable with, so yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, I very much feel that like complementarity of strengths, and I feel like that's a huge strength of our team. Like at this point, we have 11 full-time employees. We have different roles, But we also all help each other depending on what the strengths of each person are. Like we have some people great at communication. We have some people that are super high tech. We have some people that are really good at like following up on projects and making sure everything is done. Maybe that's supposed to be my job, but it's not really. Like it's not really what my focus tends to be. Me, I'm more interested in general in like strategic thinking, like between organizations. Like where is there kind of a little path for us to get more money, to have a bigger project, to make our wildest dreams come true, basically. But like that absolutely could not happen if there was not every single type of person that we currently have. So we have 11 full-time employees and we have a board with 3 full-time executives, including Suzanne as VP, and we have also 8 other representatives on our board. So 2 youths per coast, a governance advisor from Makivik. Makivik is like the Inuit claim organization for Nunavik that we work with quite a bit. And we have an elder representative. So we kind of have all these voices come together. No? As you can see, Luisa is a little more the quiet type, and that's part of her strength. But tell me if you want it.
No, it's true. There is a lot of merit to be given to leaders who show up, who are consistent, who bring a presence to the room. Speaking of the room or something, I'm wondering if there is something to say about leadership and inuktitut at Qarjuit in Nunavik. Do you have anything to say about that? It's very open as a question. If you want me to narrow down, let me know. But I'm letting you a lot of space to talk about inuktitut, the place of inuktitut in Inuit youth leadership in Qarjuit and in Nunavik in general.
Could I answer that in Inuktitut? I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. If there was translations in Inuktitut, I would speak Inuktitut all the way. I try to speak as much Inuktitut as I possibly can. Within Inuktitut and leadership, it's very, very important that that our children speak Inuktitut and know Inuktitut. So how we make sure that our language is still like with us is that our children starting from kindergarten, grade 1 and 2 is just strictly in Inuktitut. And like by the time they go to grade 3, they have Inuktitut classes throughout the day as well. That's another way that we keep our language alive. And I have speaking notes. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you the 4 values for Inuktitut words, and I'll translate them into English. Inu hatiginik, tunganaknik, piliri hatiginik, and aye hatiginik. Inu hatiginik is living in harmony with each other. Tunganik is being welcoming, open, and inclusive. Piliri hatiginik is working together, collaboration for a common good. And aye hatiginik is decision-making through discussion and consensus. So these are the 4 Inuit values that we hold. You can learn more about them when I was working with NIYC and ITK. It's Inuit Tapiri Kanatami. We got to learn a lot about these values and what exactly they mean and how we can kind of integrate them into our advocacy, because like it's a national platform and they also travel like internationally to speak on these kind of things. So I just wanted to share those really quick.
It's a big topic. It's a big topic. I get it. And I know that you integrated also a seat for Southern Inuit to be part of that.
Yeah.
Part of Qarjuit.
Yes. Well, I think our events used to be like only youth within the region. And we've realized that there's Inuit down south that want to connect with the communities. Either they're down south for studies or foster care, and we want to kind of create opportunities for them to connect more with other Inuit. So now at our events, we're inviting Inuit from down south to join us. And one of the great things that we've seen happen through this, we had a self-determination simulation last year, and we invited a whole cohort of Nunavik Sivunit students, which are college-level students studying history of Nunavik culture, identity, self-governance, all these topics that are interesting to us as well. And they came to our event last year, and now that they're back in Nunavik, they keep attending Qarjuit events. So like we really see that like through involving these youths that are down south right now, like when they come back, they can contribute their strengths as well. It's been very, very, very inspiring to see that, like to see them coming to one event and now they have a full membership. They're there all the time, so it's awesome, yeah.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy to hear that, because I feel like Inuit youths in foster care are often overlooked, and I don't know, when I started working in the Indigenous/Inuit sector, it took me a while to discover Ulriak and Tasiutirit. It makes me happy that it's being addressed and included within Qarjuit. I was also wondering, what are the different opportunities that Qarjuit have offered you to take on a role of leadership, or something that can look like leadership, or not only you, but also your how do you call the participants at Qarjuit? You know, like at the table at the beginning of the thing? Members, thank you. Different opportunities that Qarjuit offer youths to take on leadership opportunities.
For me, I started off really small, and it was basically, mindset was inside the community. What happens in the community stays, and anything outside, it's way past it's far, you know. I can't even reach it, was my mindset before reaching out to these people and then joining the actual council. But then going into the regional council, it really opened up my eyes into seeing that everyone is alike, one way or another. We may not know each other, we may just glance at each other time to time, but who knows? We all have a common fault, and look at us here today. We're all in the same room discussing a big but also common topic, and it's opened up my eyes, and I just can't wait to see where it goes for our next term together. Yeah, it's amazing. You get to meet a lot of people. You get out of your shell, and you just grow as a person. And for this, I've seen so many other youths inside the region as well, also in Montreal, who have come up to the tournaments or the meetings that we do have, and everyone connects, and we're all excited to see each other. And even if you're traveling to Calgary or even Qarjuit, you'll meet the same people who have a common fault, who have attended the same meetings, who have met the same people that you have, and it's always a great thing to see. who knows, maybe I'll see you guys in the next meeting and we'll be like, oh, hi. But it's great, and it's open to everyone. It feels like a big friend group in the region, and we're just like, come hang out. We have all this at the table. Please join. And it feels that way. Honestly, it does. It does not feel like a job. It does not feel like a councillor position. It's amazing, in my opinion. Thank you.
I'll take this. I'm trying not to. Yeah. Qarjuit, I'd like to say that like Qarjuit really saved my life in a way. I was going down a very bad path in my earlier years, and there was a Qarjuit event, an annual general meeting, and somebody reached out and said, hey, I think you should attend this. I didn't know what Qarjuit was at that time, and I was like, what are they expecting of me? They're just like, represent your community. And I'm like, little old me, what am I gonna say? I'm not gonna fit into this this big organization that supposedly is representing all youth within Nunavik. I was very intimidated, and a good friend of mine was like, you know, this might change your life. You should just go attend it, see how you feel. If you don't like it, you don't have to attend again. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give it a try. And then during that event, I became a board member. I was voted in. Surprisingly, I was like, I spoke a little bit, and I was like, this is what I do. And they were like, you know what? Yeah, you're a part of the organization now. And shortly after, I became the vice president, and that opened so many doors for me. One of the council members saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and they gave me an opportunity to kind of explore and kind of grow into that leadership role. And I'm super, super grateful for people kind of nudging me a little bit, saying like, you can do this. And that was a little over 5 years ago. I became a president of the National Inuit Youth Council, traveling internationally, advocating for Inuit youth voices. And like, I always get a little emotional talking about this, because I could never imagine where I would have been in my life if it wasn't for Qarjuit seeing the potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And like, this organization, this is what it's for, to kind of nudge youth into like these leadership roles that like we can see that in them, even though they don't see it in themselves, and like creating a safe space for them to kind of explore that within themselves and grow into that is what the organization is all about. And that's really, like that's really the foundation that I have within myself, is like, if that could happen to me, then it could happen to the next person. Like, always trying to make sure that like they feel heard and seen. And yeah.
Yeah, obviously we're an Inuit organization. I'm not Inuk, but for me personally too, honestly, I found so much in Qarjuit. Since we're on YouTube, let's make the big declarations. I'm autistic, and there's been a lot of situations in my life, especially I would say down south in the current modern structures of the world, where I didn't necessarily felt like I could fully find my place. I think there's a lot of expectations on stay kind of quiet, don't say too much what you think. At least that's been my experience in life a little bit. And I feel like, and that's just my take on Inuit, but I feel like Inuit are very authentic and open. And I feel like expressing myself and my thoughts has never been seen as a problem in Nunavik, but always as a strength. And I feel like, yeah, it's encouraged. And so I feel very much like I'm in a place that's like safe for myself, because it's safe for everyone. That was on a personal note. That's okay. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. We're doing good on time. Do we have another question or do we want to open up the floor? 5 more minutes? What do we want to talk about?
Regional Youth Hub. Can we?
Yes, please.
My strategic mind wants to go there. We're working on a very big project for Nunavik right now. There's some communities that have youth centers for teenagers, and a lot don't. And there's kind of no regional center for young adults. Like there's no place where on an ongoing basis there's like workshops for young adults or resources for them or like a place to gather. So we hired architects. Like a month or two ago, we started a pre-design planning phase. So we're consulting with the youth, with the organizations in the region to identify the needs, what the aspirations are, and so we can advocate to get, $20 million. So we're very ambitious, but we got this. So we're hoping to, like, within the next few years, have our own offices that we own with a huge conference room, multi-use space, staff housing, like kind of a place where there can be always stuff going on for young adults and bringing the resources to them. So that's a very exciting project to me. So,
A little bit of background on why we decided that it would be good to have a regional youth hub is because up north in Nunavik, we lack infrastructure. Yes, there are youth houses. Some communities do not even have youth houses. They don't have community gymnasiums. The only gym or place to go to is usually the school. And sometimes there is no access to that because it's like the only venue in some communities. So it's like in high demand. So like this regional youth hub would kind of like alleviate the lack of infrastructure we have within our region. Again, we're natural storytellers. So there was this one youth that I spoke with, this young man. He's about like 17 to 19 years old. And he would always hang around in it's like a cabin or like a little shack. And he's okay with me sharing this as long as I don't say his name. So, and he would just hang around in that little shack all day. And I asked him why do you hang around here all day? And you're just you're not really doing anything. And he's like, I don't have anywhere else to go. There's nothing to do in my community. There's no infrastructure. There's no building I could go to. And I was like, okay, what are you interested in? Well, what do you like to do? And he's like, I'm really into drumming. I want to learn how to drum. He's into music. He wants to make music, but then there's no studio. There's no place for him to kind of explore that. So that really broke my heart. And there's so much potential in these youth within our communities, but then there's nowhere to kind of learn or hang out, get into a safe space. And the Regional Youth Hub is going to be a complete game changer. And I'm really excited for the youth within our region to kind of do that. And Laura has been taking the lead on this initiative, and I'm super, super thankful that she's a part of our team, and she's really going to change so many lives within Nunavik, and I'm super, super grateful for you, and I'm really excited for the future of our youth within Nunavik. I'm gonna stop talking before I cry, so yeah.
Incredible. There's not one moment where I felt a hesitation or a discomfort or anything. You make it so comfortable and easy and fun. Thank you for doing the work that you do, for being who you are. Thank you. And thank you all for being there and to sit with us.
So I think we have another 10 minutes. So maybe if you have questions for Qarjuit Youth members, anyone?
If anyone has any questions, raise your hand. I'll bring this microphone to you.
Maybe you want to hear more stories because they're a storyteller.
We have a question right here.
I would just like to ask you, what would be another dream project for the future for the youth of Nunavik?
Yeah, I have an idea, but you can add too. One thing that we've been noticing is that with the pandemic, like local youth committees, so groups of youth in each committee, they kind of went down a little bit. It was harder for people to gather. So a big thing we're working on right now is to kind of recreate these local youth committees in each community and supporting them. We provide a lot of funding for these committees as well. We hired recently youth coordinators for 2 of the codes that are like full-time supporting the development of these kind of little local councils, basically. So I feel like, strengthening these local committees and then strengthening the network between regional and local is kind of a big dream that we're working on right now.
Another topic would be a sports hub in one community instead of one sport being shared in each community. For instance, volleyball tournaments up north, they only manage about 15 to no less than 50 youths during this tournament. And for, not to toot my own horn, but Qarjuit has like 3 triple gyms, and but no, it's in my master plan is what I'm hoping. And it's in the works. Not to get the hopes up, but it is, for me, would be a sports hub in one community for both regions, the EU and the Inuit, to come together and do sports, summer and winter games, to have sports all year round, tournaments, for it to be doable, honestly. It costs thousands to host a single tournament, and kids, some are fortunate, some are unfortunate, and it's, if you see these tournaments in person, the entire community comes together, and it's you're in awe, because it's something all the youth, they're all excited for it. They're excited to attend, they're excited to even watch, to even play, and it's exciting just to have a sports hub, honestly, on top of all the other stuff.
Yeah, this dream is kind of coming to life already, but I felt I'd need to mention it. Is we, within our council, we have elders and youth retreat. Kind of one of our big priorities is to kind of close the gap between elders and youth. And we recently just invited elders from all over the region to our Inuit Youth Summit and 10th anniversary. And now for each event, we are planning on inviting elders to attend our events. So for the self-determination simulation happening in January, we're recruiting both elders and youth so that they could learn how to negotiate with provincial or federal governments. And I think our theme, could I see the theme? And the the theme this year is on mining. So youth and elders are going to learn basic negotiation tactics, how to negotiate, getting all the information, all that. So like that's a pretty big accomplishment that I think we have, because like we as Inuit are taught to respect our elders and to retain as much knowledge as we can from elders so that we can keep our tradition alive for generations to come. And to have elders and youth in one event and learning alongside each other is like, I'm just getting goosebumps just talking about it. But yeah, that's a pretty big dream that we had that we're accomplishing now.
I also have dreams. I feel like we often talk about how expensive it is to go hunting, and you know, all of our time and money goes into, you know, a Western lifestyle, but I wish that there was like consistent, always funding for cultural activities like basket making. I know that there are regional tours to learn how to make kamik and parkas and things like that, but like consistent, always available, like the youth could always have that kind of thing. That would be so cool. Anything else?
Hi, I was wondering, on your youth council, how many of you guys are in there on the youth council?
Members of the board or
Yeah.
staff?
Board.
Board members, 11, right? Because 6, 2, 3 execs, Makivik elder, 11 that are like involved every single month.
Okay.
But then like the members, like we were saying, there's over 4,500. So like each few months we have events with a lot more youth than that, but like every single month, yeah. And our staff too, like we really prioritize Inuit youth. Out of our 11 employees, 8 are Inuit youths right now. So they're also super involved in a lot of decision and just realization. Yes, you want to share about that?
Yeah, so we prioritize hiring Inuit youth within our organization, but we also give them an opportunity to flourish in other professional aspects. So we make sure that we give them training, like office skills training, conflict resolution training, governance training, so that like they could show up the best as they could, not just for the organization, but if they decide to move into a different organization or a different career path, so that they'll have the tools to kind of advance in that as well. So yeah, just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Merci, Tiawenk Nakomik. Donc, peut-être un dernier applaudissement pour nos panélistes. C'était vraiment inspirant. Je sais qu'il y a des gens qui prennent. I know that what you're sharing is very inspiring, and that people from other organizations are taking notes and be like, oh, maybe we need to try this. It's nice for you to have come here down south and share all of your experience and expertise. Thank you. Qu'est-ce qu'on va faire pour notre dernière portion de la journée? C'est qu'on va aller en groupe, on va faire un café. Donc, je vous explique un peu le principe. On va vous demander de se diviser en 4 tables. Puis, vous allez passer 15 minutes sur 2 des 4 tables. Donc, vous allez devoir choisir 2 thèmes dont vous aimeriez discuter. Puis, l'idée, c'est de parler de ces thématiques-là, mais de ramener aussi ce que vous avez entendu aujourd'hui. Donc, je vais reprendre mes notes pour vous dire les tables. Merci. Puis je vais inviter, I'm also going to invite Kathy and Sigwan to come here at the front. All right.